it's common sense. Just don't depend on others. Things get done if you do it yourself. It's a lesson you have to learn in life. That's just some people, if they're jaded, you got to do everything yourself. Now, I'm still, see the logic of that. To get on your female side, what you have to do is find a man and have a man find you, the right man, and motivate him to do things for you. Just like if I had employees in my office, I have to pay them. Well, what's the payment to a man? Is that you give him a job that he can do that's not beyond his capabilities, and you reward him for it appropriately. So one of the biohacks I was mentioning is asking men to do things within a window that will take 5 minutes. Okay, so no man will resist doing something for you if it only takes 5 minutes. And women often, particularly confident women in personal relationships, they don't want to sort of ask for something like showing I need help, or help would make me feel better. So to break that pattern, you say to your partner, okay, 3 times this week or every day this week, if you're married together, whatever, I want to do this little exercise I read in a book, which breaks me from my habit of feeling I have to do everything all the time. Because this is very common for women. I'm overwhelmed. I have so much to do. I have so much to do.
Yes,
So
it is
that's
so common.
It's like a snowball going down the hill, and it gets bigger and bigger. So what we have to do is, what's helpful is a pattern interrupt. You just stop the snowball, and then it doesn't keep rolling. You just have to stop it, and you don't have to stop it for 5 minutes. It will stop. Your brain shifts. And so what it looks like is you raise your hand, you get the signal. This is going to do, this means I'm going to ask you to do something that only takes less than 5 minutes. I'm going to ask, and I could do it myself. It's not like something I don't have time to do, something I can't do. No, it's more personal. I'm going to ask you to do something for me. and I could do it for me, but I'm asking you to do it. And I got this idea because if you look at some of the essence of romance, it's the man opens the car door. Of course, she can open the car door. I remember telling my wife one time in the beginning where she says, I can do that. I said, honey, of course you can open the car door. It says, you give so much to me and to our family. Let me do that for you. Tonight, let me take care of everything. And it feels sweet.
It feels good just to hear you say that. Feels so good.
This feels so good. And I'm happy to do it. Well, part of what kills the romance in relationships is often if a man's doing something and you want him to do something else, he's not suddenly going, oh, I'm happy to do something else. He's sort of rigid. He's sort of hyper-focused on one thing. And you can sense it, so you don't even ask for help when you actually do need it. But this is training him to be able to shift in an instant. Because if you say it's only going to be less than 5 minutes, it's going to help me be happier and I'll appreciate it, you have to set it up. And then what his job is, you explain his job is when do this, he's going to, 5 minutes, happy to be there. Because it's only 5 minutes. Now, I've talked to thousands of people, and if it's set up, I've never had a man say, I won't give her 5 minutes anytime she wants. And what that does is it gives her this feeling of I can ask for what I want whenever I want it. Because that's part of a relationship, is to feel that somebody is always there for you. You're never alone. Okay, you've got somebody you can reach out to if you need help. And even if you need a little help, which is do something I could do for myself, but it will feel good to not have to do it myself. I can do it myself. That's why taking her to the restaurant. The restaurant, she can cook food. She doesn't have to cook food. She doesn't have to wash dishes that together or to whatever. Don't have to clean up the hotel room. It's all being done for you. That's why these are the places where romance often thrives, one of the places. And it's because somebody else is doing something for you that you can normally do for yourself, but you don't have to. So you're taking yourself out of the mode of Superwoman. I have to, and there's too much to do. And you shift that snowball from going down the hill into, well, here's something I don't have to do. Something that'll be nice that I don't have to do. And so it looks like foot massage. It looks like cleaning up the kitchen. It looks like making me a cup of tea. It makes me, the later one she's showing she'll say, would you before we're going to bed, she said, would you get me a glass of warm water? I say, sure, happy to do it right away. But she waits till I'm already in bed sometimes just to test it out. And I do. I recognize, I know this is like a a little thing that scores big makes a woman feel special, as opposed to some person you have to always sort of earn their love. No, and you have to do something first for them to do that, and you have to only ask at the right time. It's like a freedom to have in a relationship, and it doesn't take a lot. So that's one of the simple hacks. Another one is two hands up, which you don't always have to put two hands up, but it means I need your attention for 10 minutes. Okay. If you say to a man, I just need your attention for 10 minutes, and you just set it up. I love you. I know you love me. And sometimes I just want to feel more connected to you. And it's okay if you don't want to talk, if you don't want to say anything. I just want to talk for 10 minutes and I'll feel connected to you. And that would be awkward unless we understand that men and women are different. He doesn't need that, generally speaking. But what it does, it raises estrogen. It will always raise estrogen. If you talk and say what you're feeling, it's even more. You can talk about what's going on in your life today. Here's an update on my day, and don't even wait for him to ask. Okay. You can just say, oh, so glad you're here today. This happened, and kind of a little bit of report and express a little feeling. What draws a man in, because men typically are not interested in those things, the mundane things of the day. If there's a problem, he'll get interested. Let me solve it. But it's important just to be able to talk about what you're feeling, what we call small talk. Women are very good at small talk. Generally, men aren't. And therefore, communication stops. And then she has to try to get him to talk, as opposed to he doesn't need to talk. He doesn't need more estrogen. Generally, men need more testosterone. And one of the challenges, again, is when women don't understand that men are different, and this is particularly men over 50, naturally their estrogen levels are higher. And naturally their testosterone levels are lower, unless they're practicing these skills that I'm teaching. Mine at 70, I'm just 73 now, are 50% higher than when I was a young man, because I practice these skills. One of the basic skills is I don't complain. I don't complain out loud. And if I do it with my male friends and more as a joke. Okay. I don't complain about situations to my wife. And women, like, they see you a little stressed and they want to get you talking, and then they want to get you asking.
Because that's what feels good to us.
It's what feels good to you. If you can just share what's going on without somebody interrupting, oh my gosh, because talking about problems, talking about your feelings, positive or negative, will always raise estrogen to higher levels, and it feels good. Now, men don't need more estrogen, generally speaking. We need more testosterone. And the older we get, we have too much estrogen. So we don't want to encourage that. What we want to encourage is him having more testosterone. And think of testosterone as like, a Zen master who never complains about anything. His testosterone levels will be off the chart. Qigong masters. Sometimes I watch Chinese movies. I teach a lot in China. And the heroes never complain about anything. They're super, they're masters, and they use their kung fu to protect everybody, but they're never aggressive with it where they'd start a fight. They just protect people. It's the best of masculinity is you don't whine, you don't complain. And yet we're sort of conditioned that we're all supposed to talk about feelings. And most men who are single at 50, they've been with some woman who's been trying to get him to talk about his feelings. It's such a fresh breath of fresh air when a woman is not trying to dig into a man, trying to go into him to know what he feels, but to let him go into you. He penetrates you. You open up a little bit more by sharing more of what's going on inside of you. So that's another key factor. But how do you feel appreciation for a man if he's not doing things for you? Your tendency is to then try to earn some love, and then you think he'll be through reciprocity, he'll do things for you. But when you do a lot for a man, the message he gets is, oh, I must have already done enough. See, it's the flip side. I do something for a woman. She has like a gene that says, oh, now I have to do something for you. Let me do more for you. You did all this for me. Let me do that for you. And that is healthy. That means my female side, my need was met. Now I can go to my male side. The dysfunctional aspect of women is when they go to their male side and their female side has not been supported. So rather than I give to get, I receive and I give back. That's the female polarity, the healthy female polarity. I receive so much, now I have the energy to give, as opposed to I'm so empty, I need somebody to fill me up, so I'm going to go earn it. That's healthy for men. For men, we have to go out and earn it. If earning builds testosterone, not having to earn, but receiving. But what if he's not giving? What do? You ask.
Now, what do?
You have to ask.